Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to Region 10 Men's Division II Basketball Championships. This the quarterfinals. I'm Miles Poole along with Kevin Gardner, and this is game 3 of today. It's the number 2nd seeded Bobcats of Bryant Stratton taking on the Hurricanes of Louisburg College, coming in as the number 7th seed, Kevin.
Yeah, it should be a really good ball game. I mean, Bryant Stratton coming in at number 2. They were 12-6 overall in conference play this year. Louisburg at 8-10. These two teams split during the regular season, and it should be a great third ball game for us here in the quarterfinal Wednesday here in Wilmington at Cape Fear Community College.
Those two games very close. The loss to Bryant Stratton for Louisburg was a 106-99 game. Then they turned around and beat the Bobcats in overtime, 84-78. We could have one of those type of ball games here today for the Bobcats. Yontez Raspberry, Khalil Oden, Kwan Oden, Kamani Small, and Gamar Powers are your starting 5 for the Hurricanes. Malachi McLean, Michael Lawson, Alexander Booker, Ronald Bridges Jr. We'll keep an eye on him. He's the big wheel for the Hurricanes. And Nehemiah McDonald are your starting 5 for Louisburg. Jump ball out of bounds. That'll be Hurricanes basketball to start things out here, led by Coach Brian Bagwell in his 6th season here with the Hurricanes. He's done a good job with this program. The first year he qualified for that national tournament, but it was canceled due to COVID.
Yeah, Louisburg's traditionally been a very good program. One of really the only private junior college program in the state of North Carolina. They've been able to continue to compete very well. They've got a good baseball program there at Louisburg as well. And so, yeah, Coach Bagwell puts together a very competitive team every year, and this year's no exception. They've got a very good chance to move on today against this Louisburg team. This Bryant Stratton team.
Fast-paced game right out of the gates like we expected. These two teams like to run, and good pressure defense there by Louisburg. They're going to get a foul called on Malachi McLean. That's the first foul of the ball game, and it comes less than 50 seconds into the contest.
Establishing that early, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Gadjuan Oden, one of the guys that'll run the point for the Bobcats. That shot is off the mark. But the rebound and the putback for Yontez Raspberry. And the Bobcats draw first blood.
Bobcats are settled into 2-3 here defensively.
Yeah, Hurricanes do get it inside to McDonald, but he loses that out of bounds.
Well, that's one of the 2 ways to break it, right?
Yep.
You either hit something from outside and stretch it out, or you get something middle and either go right to the basket or swing opposite side quickly.
Louisburg is not a bad three-point shooting team. They're the 3rd best team in the conference, but man, they're a great defensive team. There's a long 3 by Michael Lawson. That's good. And the Hurricanes are on the board. It's 3-2 Louisburg. Bobcats go inside, then kick it back out. Nice drive there by Kwan Oden. Little full court pressure there. The Hurricanes, a long 3 misses. A nice rebound there by Booker.
Yeah, that's a fairly easy call on Booker there. He lowered the shoulder pretty evidently. Left the referee with no choice but to make the call against him. So go back the other direction, Bobcat basketball.
2nd team foul on the Hurricanes. Hurricanes will pick up man-to-man at midcourt. Nice three-point shot for the Bobcats. That's Khalil Odin.
Well, we've seen Khalil go off for quite a few points in the past. I mean, he's one of those guys that any given night, he can put 25, 30 points on the board.
There's a steal by the Bobcats. And taking it in, missed layup. Going to be Kamani Small. Oh, Khalil filling it early with a long three. Rebound by the Hurricanes on the miss. Three-point shot in the corner by Lawson misses, and it's one and done for the Hurricanes. Here come the Bobcats. Play a little frantic right now. Gamar Powers gets the junk basket there on the putback, and Bryant Stratton up by 6, 9-3.
Yeah, it's a good look by Odin. He got the ball back on the quick turnover from the Hurricanes and tossed it inside the Power for an easy bucket. It's just good heads-up play.
Louisburg trying to find a way to attack that zone. Nice quick hands by Juwan. Odin kicks it off to Khalil, and he's going to travel. Good call. We've seen that call a lot more, I think, this year than we have in years past.
Yeah, that's one of those things that you feel like in the game of college basketball is kind of going to the wayside. If you look at the NBA game, you really wonder if if it's even a rule anymore. But certainly I think it's been a point of emphasis at the NCAA and NJCAA level to at least get it a little bit cleaner to the game.
Hurricanes do get it up the court. And a nice job, Nehemiah McDonald driving to the bucket. He's going to be fouled. He gets the bucket. And the foul is going to be on Kamani Small. That's the first foul on Small, first foul on the Bobcats. And there's a timeout on the court at the 15:57 mark here of the first half. Louisburg trailed the Bobcats 9-5. Pretty fast-paced ball game to start out here, Kevin, but not really a lot of scoring.
Right. I mean, it's not been out of control or anything. Both teams are looking to get up and down the court, despite Bryant Stratton dropping into that 2-3. When they get the ball, they go, and so the transition clearly is a point of emphasis for both teams. And juxtaposition of the last game we had, there was a little bit more of a half-court game. These guys are going to get up and down, so it's a lot of fun to see. Hopefully the fans here will enjoy it, and folks at home will enjoy watching it. But, yeah, I mean, these two teams are going to get up and down the court for sure.
Well, Louisburg comes into the quarterfinals after defeating Southwest Virginia on Monday by the score of 110-91. So as a number 7 seed, they advanced. And the winner of this game is going to play the winner of our 7 o'clock game tonight. Pitt and Catawba, another evenly matched contest. Really good ball games in this quarterfinal.
Yeah, and I think that's what highlights Region 10. Really, you've got good teams up and down the board, and we've said this at any given night in Region 10. Whoever was currently sitting last place in the standings had a legit chance to win every single night because there's that much talent. I look at the coaching and the programs, the commitment by the administrations that around Region 10 that has been made to bring up the level of program. And here in Division II, it really is a lot of good programs out there, and we're seeing that here today so far in the quarterfinals.
McDonald finishes off the old-fashioned three-point play with a free throw, and Louisburg pulls to within 3. It's a 9-6 Bobcat lead. Looking at Cliff Coleman, Coach Coleman over to our left here. He is decked out. I like those duds.
Yes, sir. He's going to make an entrance. The nice white shoes with the simple black swoosh. Very stylish.
Both coaches well dressed. Both coaches nice jackets. Nice feed inside to a driving Powers for his 4th point. Kawan Noden with a good assist. Louisburg breaks the pressure. settle into that half-court offense. They try to force it inside. And I tell you, a good job by McDonald of getting the ball he dropped, but putting it back up before that shot clock went off. McDonald's got 5 inside.
Yeah, it's a good-looking freshman. He's 6'7", made it out of Fayetteville somehow. Good-looking player.
Khalil Oden with his second three-point shot. He's got 6. Bryant Stratton now up 14-8. There's a wide open 3 by Ronald Bridges Jr., his first points of the game. So the sophomore out of Durham, North Carolina gets his first bucket. He's a guy that can get hot quick.
Yeah, very talented player, and if you look at his season, he's produced some very high point totals at times, but good shooter. He can slash as well. Great ball player, and he's another one that I think out of Region 10 has a great opportunity to play at the next level.
Kawan Oden with his 4th bucket. And Louisburg on the putback. Nice job there on the boards by Booker. And the Bobcats turn it over. I don't think Kawan Oden was looking for that pass coming up the court. A little bit frustrated, and it's a turnover for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and that's a shame. I mean, you're looking at just a little bit of miscommunication there, and there's no one around you. You just throw one out of bounds. It's always tough. That'll give the coaching staff a little bit of heartburn, but those things happen. Get up and down the court enough.
There's a long 3 and a miss by Louisburg.
Well, Bridges did a great job to try to keep that one alive.
Oh, McLean shot that from way out. Bobcats move the ball around very well. There's jumper there by Days is no good, and the Hurricanes will run with it. McLean misses, but Braden Smith gets the putback.
Good job running the court, get down there, not assuming the layup's going to be made.
Going to have a foul called there on Booker. That'll be the second foul on Booker. Both of these teams very athletic. If I look at the rosters, the Bobcats are probably light from a roster standpoint. They don't have a lot of depth.
No, I mean, what they do is they get contributions across the board from several different players. You've got eight guys on the team that are averaging at least 7 points a game. So it's that top 8 that carry them for sure.
Nice job inside by Powers. He's having a good first half. He's got 6. Bryant Stratton back up by 3. This 3 there by Braden Smith. Bryant Stratton controls the glass, and on the other end, there's a long 3 by Rivers. I'm sorry, that was by Hamilton. 21-15. Good
Just
job
an up
there.
and down, fast-paced game.
Yeah, good job there by Velcic running the floor.
With very little stoppage in play.
Velcic chases down that rebound. Vuk Velcic. Love that name. This time Smith on the rotation does get that wide open 3, and Louisburg pulls it within 1. 21-20, the Bobcats lead the Hurricanes. 11:20 left to go in this first half. Wild shot there by Dees.
Yeah, and the coach might prefer Dees try to work it around a little bit more. Didn't really look like he had an angle.
Powers with great anticipation and finishes strong. He's got 8 points. Nice bucket off the steal. Nice inside pass to McDonald. Good job of the Hurricanes attacking the bucket, and McDonald gets the bucket, and the foul's going to be on Jalen Milk. We've got timeout on the court, Kevin. 10:37 left to go in this first half. Bryant Stratton up by 1, 23-20.
Pushing the following on. That gets a block for Boss.
Welcome back to the Sports Center. Miles Poole along with Kevin Gardner here. The Bobcats and the Hurricanes going at it here. The number 2 and number 7 seed in this Division II Region 10 men's basketball tournament. And Kevin, we've seen some good basketball so far today. A couple of real good games. Davidson-Davie beat Central Carolina 86-71. Fayetteville Tech beat Cleveland 72-62. In this one, we've got Bryant Stratton clinging to a 1-point lead over the Hurricanes. Good contest so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything we thought it might be. I mean, we kind of said disregard the fact that they were separated in the rankings. Louisburg, 8-10 in conference play, below 500 right now. Louisburg's right here in this ball game. Bryant Stratton, feels like that. They've been right there nipping at Davidson-Davie heels the whole season in terms of sitting in that number 2 spot, and they've played some great basketball, but Louisburg's got something to say about it before this tournament's over, and right now they're in it to win it.
Well, Louisburg's 3-7 in their last 10 games, so not exactly hot coming into the tournament. Bryant Stratton not that hot either. I mean, they're 6-4, still on a good streak, but you want to be playing your best ball right now. At one point, Bryant Stratton had cracked the top 25 in the country in the national rankings in there for a week or two.
Yeah, I think that they got votes for several weeks, and when they finally cracked it is when they had a loss. So that's unfortunate. It's short-lived in time in the top 25. But nonetheless, a very good regular season for them. And they've taken the tack that a lot of others have, which they've been playing a lot of teams from Region, I believe, 19. It's up around the Baltimore, D.C. area. So there's been a lot of interplay, just like the Davidson-Davie Storm did, and some others have played outside of the conference this year, and I think that's been good. It's kind of made the entire conference better. You get different competition, get different looks.
Yeah, as soon as they cracked the top 25, Louisburg was the team that beat them and knocked them out of that in an overtime win. There's going to be a foul whistled on Khalil Oden. Bryant Stratton is a team that lost in the finals last year. They made it to the finals of this tournament, lost to DDCC 84-77. So they know what it takes to get to that final game.
Yeah, and that helps to have been there and done that, especially at the junior college level, when you turn everybody over, every 2 years. And so if you did it last year, your players can see a little bit of that momentum. Those freshmen coming back, seeing what the effort takes, how much extra practice it takes, and outside of practice, how many more hours you have to put in.
It's a tough one to win. Good competition here, and you got to win 3 games in 3 days to take home that trophy and punch your ticket to the Nationals. Bobcats want to run with it. Can't get it to go, but they own the glass. They're doing a good job on the boards right now. D's with the offensive rebound. Well, Louisburg finally gets it. Nice save over there by Brandon Smith.
Felt like on that possession you had a couple of Bryant Stratton guys just kind of looking around, not really getting engaged in the offense, looking for the ball, but head coach imploring them to move the ball around a little bit more, but you got to have your guys working to get open.
Braden Smith misses on that jumper. And there's a three by Dees. He thought twice about it, looked down at his feet to make sure he was behind the line, then finally pulled the trigger, but it was perfect.
This is his first bucket of the game, getting to the scoring column.
Dees all over Braden Smith. Belchich at the top of the key with a three-point shot. The big guy nailing it from three. All tied up, 26 apiece. What do you think about the 6'10" three-point shooter out there?
Velchich, I think he's a freshman. I think he has probably developed a little bit throughout this year. Certainly developed since we saw him personally a little bit earlier in the year.
Yep.
A lot of upside. I mean, you've got the body, you've got the size. He does not seem to be lumbering, right? I mean, he actually seems to have some athleticism to him. So I think he's got certainly some potential that if, with that body, you're going to get some attention from NCAA coaches. But knocking down a three will go a long way towards that.
Yeah, nice soft touch out there to the big guy. Bobcats turn it over. Eight minutes now left to go in this first half. Game number 3 of 4 today. And Bridges Jr. steps out of bounds. Got a timeout on the court at the 7:50 mark. Bryant Stratton and Louisburg all knotted up, 26 apiece here. We'll be back after the break. We are back here at the Schwartz Center, Cape Fear Community College. A nice arena, Kevin. This is our third game after almost 2.5 games. How are you feeling so far? All right?
Yeah, I'm holding up so far. That's right. Plenty of throat lozenges and a whole lot of water, but having a lot of fun. Certainly excited to be here in Wilmington at Cape Fear Community College, calling these games today and all of the games for the Region 10 Division II tournament this week. A lot of great teams. I mean, we're big fans of Region 10. We get the pleasure to watch them throughout the season and see a lot of these young men and the coaches that help guide them, and it's a lot of fun. I think at times it's an underestimated region around the country. As we mentioned, Bryant Stratton having to fight a little bit to get some votes in the top 25 poll, but I think if people pay attention to this region, there are some very good teams, a lot of talent, some great coaches.
Khalil Oden tees up another three. That's 3 for him here in the first half, and Bryant Stratton now up 29-26.
Yeah, speaking of great players, Khalil Oden is one of those. We've seen some good performances from him over these last 2 seasons, and today's starting to shape up. He's got 9 so far.
Belchich loses the handle on it, and Khalil goes in for an easy layup. He's already got 11. Bobcats have done a good job of shutting down Bridges Jr. so far.
Yeah, it's deny. Keep him from getting the basketball. Current assignment falls to Gamora Rogers.
He's got that one for a wide open three. I think he pushed it just a little bit, and he's off the mark. And the Bobcats turn it back over. Bridges announced before the ball game as first team Region 10 on the first team Region 10 team. Also, Kamani Small for Bryant Stratton made that list. Odin hit the floor, no whistle.
Yeah, don't know what happened there between he and McLean, but Odin found himself on the floor.
Trying to get the ball inside the Bridges, and going to be a foul on Dees. Trying to deny the pass, was hooked around Bridges. Fourth foul on Bryant Stratton.
You know, and they may be willing to give up one or two of those trying to frustrate Bridges and keep him from getting the basketball. If it means that they can keep him out of the game. He's got 3 thus far, and certainly Louisburg would love to see him get rolling.
Yeah, you want to keep him off rhythm as much as you can. There's a 3 in the corner by Smith, misses. There's a 3-point miss by Raspberry. Yeah, Kawan Odin goes in, and he is going to lose the ball out of bounds, but it'll be off Louisburg. I think that ball was blocked.
Reset the shot clock, I believe.
Putting it back to 10 seconds. Big Bobcats basketball inbounding underneath their bucket. 10 on the shot clock.
Holding on to the 5-point lead at the moment. No team really able to create a lot of separation.
Got a feeling it's going to be one of these, and that's how the first 2 games these teams played in the regular season were, very close ball games. Bobcats inbound it. Khalil Odin with a 3, misses on this one, and that rebound is a strong one by Nehemiah McDonald. Turnover inside by the Hurricanes. And a nice jumper by Kamani Small out of Lexington, North Carolina. How'd he get away from DDCC?
Right. Back door.
Pull up 3. Nothing but net for Malachi McLean.
This game so far has been the opposite of the last that we saw 10 3-pointers hit between the 2 teams.
Yes.
Last game, Cleveland didn't hit a single one.
They took some, but they didn't hit any. You're right. There's a miss by Braden Smith on Louisburg's end, and the Bobcats can try to add to that 4-point lead here. Again, a nice pull-up by Kamani Small. 2 buckets in a row for Small.
Got the ability to score a lot. I mean, he comes in averaging over 15 a game. He is the leading scorer. He's a little unassuming in the way he goes about it, but he can knock down a jump shot with no problem.
There's a long 3 by McLean. Again, it's a nip and tuck game, a 3-point game. The Bobcats up 35-32. Pull up there by Kawan Odin. Both teams now starting to heat up from a shooting perspective. Floater inside by McLean, he misses. And Yontez Raspberry is going to grab the rebound. Kawan Odin on the attack. Kick it over to Raspberry, back to Khalil, and Khalil misses, but a nice putback there by Gamar Powers for his 10th point. And there's a timeout on the court. Kevin, 3:12 left to go here in the first half. Bryant Stratton up 39-32. we'll take a break, and we'll be back at the Sports Center in just a moment.
Perfect combo includes 2 pizzas, 2 sides, and a 2-liter bottle of Coke. So we were asking real people how much they think all of this costs.
35, 45, 50.
$19.99. I'm about to order that when I get home. It's Domino's Perfect Combo, and it's all just $19.99.
He's got 10, and Khalil's got 11. We're back here at the Sports Center. Kevin, a pretty good ball game. Bryant Stratton now opening up a 7-point lead, 39-32, but still anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been up and down so far. I mean, Bryant Stratton's been able to develop just a little bit of a lead. I mean, 7 points feels like Louisburg, the way they've been shooting, they can close that up pretty quick. I mean, all they need is, one good stop defensively, go down there and get a bucket, and they're right, they're right on this game. I mean, I think you're basically what you're seeing is all the stars for both teams are showing up. The one player that Louisburg would like to get rolling, though, that hasn't yet, is Ronald Bridges Jr., and I think if he could get into the flow a little bit, it's going to help Louisburg try to come back and get the lead as they start moving towards halftime.
He averages 21.7 points a ball game. He's got 3 in this one, and he's been covered tightly by the Bobcat defense. But one thing in his favor, he's not tried to press things. I don't see him pressing. Maybe he's getting frustrated internally. I don't see it showing, but he's not pressing. And when he's had the ball and he's double teamed, he's kicked it out to an open guy. Bridges now with the basketball at the top of the key. Kamani Small all over him. Now they'll bring Bridges down low, see if they can get it to him in the post. That's what they do. Little turnaround, nice move by Bridges, and that's what he needs to get going. 5 points now for Ronald. Posted him up against Small, and he had a little bit of a height advantage there.
Yeah, when there's a disadvantage like that, when he needs to go after the guy. And that time he did, and it produced some points. I think he could probably do a little bit more of that. He's going to have the height advantage over most of the guys that are guarding him from the Bobcats.
Schmidt misses on the 3, and Louisburg's going to get the rebound, and they have a chance to cut into this 5-point deficit. Bridges with the basketball. Picks his dribble up, gets it to Velcic. There's a turnover, and Kawan Oden gets the bucket. Those turnovers will kill you.
Every time. Those lead to easy transition buckets. And if you're Bryant and Stratton, they take advantage of them. You can't give it to them.
Louisburg, nice strong drive to the hole. Beautiful block. Beautiful block by Powers. And the Bobcats going to take it to the other end. Kamani Small with his 6th point. And that was all set up by great defensive play.
Yeah, it's 2 possessions in a row where Bryant and Stratton was able to get their hands on the ball and get out and running.
Hurricanes in need of a bucket here. They trail by 9. Velcic takes a couple of steps.
Yeah, you felt like Velcic just needed to make the one dribble with the left hand, and he was probably going to be going up for a dunk. He turned back inside, and he lost his footing.
It's a freshman out of Montenegro. Got a lot of talent to work with there. I look at this roster of Louisburg. They've got quite a few freshmen on the roster.
Yeah, they're not a heavily laden sophomore team. I mean, now granted, some of their, some of the players that they rely on, including Bridges, is a sophomore. So they'll have to deal with the loss of him as they move forward. But there's a lot that's going to be coming back for this Louisburg team.
Minute 8 left to go in the first half. Been a quick first half. Seems like it's been a quick first half, but we've done 2 games already, so you start to lose feeling after a while.
Yeah, well, they have played this in about 35 minutes.
Yeah.
There's not been a lot of stoppages. I mean, this is now, as the whistle blows, it's only the 8th total foul that's been called in the game.
Foul's going to be on Michael Lawson.
And there have been 2 total free throws that have been taken off.
Yeah, each team only has four 14 fouls. So I don't know that I've been through a half to see that. These guys have launched a lot of threes, though, haven't they? Both teams. There's another one. That one off the mark by Dees. Here comes Louisburg. Bridges going to attack the bucket. Cut off, nice switch. Good defense there by Hamilton. Stripped him. Those are the kind you need to finish on. They couldn't get the rebound to go back either, and it'll be Louisburg basketball. 19.3 seconds left. There is timeout on the court. We'll take a break here. We'll be back to the Schwartz Center in just a moment.
For a deal? Well, Domino's Perfect Combo is a big deal for a not-so-big price. Because for just $19.99, you get 2 medium one-topping pizzas and savory Parmesan bread bites and gooey cinnamon bread twists and a 2-liter of Coke. It's the perfect combo. Just $19.99, only at Domino's.
Well, close to halftime here, 19 seconds. Teams in a timeout. Bryant and Stratton lead Louisburg 43-34.
Up and down game, Miles. A lot of scoring. I mean, Bryant and Stratton sitting there at 43 points on the board right now. The only thing that's been really the difference in the last couple of minutes, they've gotten their hands on a few balls defensively, gotten some deflections, and gotten out running. That's why they've been able to build a little bit of a lead at 9. Louisburg will be looking to take the last shot here in the first half and try to close it up a little bit.
Bryant and Stratton coming into the contest 18-10. Louisburg 13-15 after the win at Southwest Virginia. And one of these teams will move on and continue their quest for a conference tournament championship. And the other one's season will sadly come to an end here. But there's over 20 minutes of basketball left to be played. Louisburg got 2 seconds on the shot clock. There's a long three at the buzzer by McLean. It's going to count. And that's a little momentum builder for Louisburg going into the break. At halftime, Bryant and Stratton leads it 43-37.
Grammy goes to Pecados y Milagros by Lila Downs.
Thank you so much, Mama, for feeding me through my belly button the wisdom and the strength to love through music. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Viva Mexico.
We're back at the Schwartz Center Region 10 Division II men's basketball tournament, and at halftime, Bryant Stratton in game number 3 leads Louisburg 43-37. Miles Poole along with Kevin Gardner here with you for today's action. Kevin, looking at the scoring leaders, some of the stats from the first half.
Yeah, I think exactly what you would expect out of Bryant Stratton. Khalil Odin with 11. Gamar Powers, he has 10. I mean, he comes into the game, averaging 11, but, he's put together some strong games this year, so not a surprise out of him. Louisburg, Malachi McLean has 9, and Nehemiah McDonald has 8. And, I think this game is kind of going as we expected. Maybe a little bit more up and down at times than you might have anticipated, but I think it's exactly what we talked about from a standpoint of two very good teams that, they've got nothing to lose at this point, right? They've got everything to gain, that they need to come out here. They need to get this automatic bid. Like, that's what's on their mind. And so that's what they're fighting for, and they know that, right? And so they're leaving it all on the court. At least that's the way that I see it right now, is that they're fighting pretty hard. And I think both coaches came out with a game plan, had them prepared, and we're seeing some very good basketball so far.
Yeah,
and
I think –
go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, I think Bryant Stratton did a good job, they've done a good job defending Ronald Bridges. They've kind of taken him out of his offensive game. He's got 5 points, but he is the guy that really drives this Hurricane team. And I think Malachi McLean's kind of picked up the slack a little bit, but I like the job the Bobcats have done so far defensively against Bridges.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been deny. I think that's been the key for them, and they've been willing to maybe even give up a foul or two in order to try to keep the ball out of his hands. I don't think that's necessarily frustrated him. I think it's just a better job of Bryant Stratton of being able to keep it from getting to him. Now, to the point you made earlier, I don't think it's a situation where he's pressing. He's not trying too hard. So he's letting the game come to him. And, you hope that over the course of the game that pays benefits to Louisburg, but you have to say at some point you got to get him rolling. It's a 6-point game, so it's still anybody's game at this point, but it's hard to say that Louisburg would get through to the next round if Bridges doesn't turn it on just a little bit more. You need your best player in your biggest game.
Well, we want to remind you that if you're watching YouTube and you want to chat in, there's a live chat. We will we'll call that out on the air, and we'd like to know that you're out there listening, whether you're a Hurricane fan or a Bobcats fan or just a basketball fan. We would love to hear from you. We're about 7 and 8 minutes away from the start of the second half. We'll take another break. Bryant Stratton on top of things, 43-37.
Forcing the following on. That gets a block for Boss.
We are back at the Joe and Barbara Swartz Center here on the campus of Cape Fear Community College. This is the Region 10 Men's Division II Championship Tournament, and this is our third game of the day, Kevin. Bryant and Stratton versus Louisburg, and right now the Bobcats are up 43-37. There's still anybody's ball game at this point, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bryant and Stratton's played a pretty good first half. I think they were able to create a few more turnovers and get out in transition. Louisburg were able to knock down some threes. I mean, they've got 7 3-pointers at the half, and that's helped keep them in it, right? But I think, the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats right now probably feel like they've got a little bit of a cushion to work with. But I mean, as you saw at the end of the half, Bryant and Stratton, knocked down a 3-pointer and said, no, we're not going to allow you to do that. So, it was starting to pull away from Louisburg there at the end, and Louisburg knocks down a shot, and here we are 6 at the half. So absolutely anybody's ball game. Two talented teams, two great coaches going at it right now, and so should be a fun second half.
Pretty well played, clean game in the first half. Not a lot of fouls. Each team had 4 team fouls. I don't know that there were many free throws, less than 5 free throws taken in the first half, only 2.
2 total free throws taken in the first half by either team. That was 2 on the part. So, yeah, we'll give the stat, I guess, that Louisburg is 2 for 2. They're shooting 100% for whatever that's worth.
Okay.
So, yeah, not necessarily the inside physical game that we saw in our second ball game between Fayetteville Tech and Cleveland. This one's been a lot more perimeter play. Both teams content to run a lot of outside screens, ball screens, but really not driving towards the basket, right? Shooting a lot of 3-pointers. I mentioned Louisburg has 7. Bryant and Stratton has hit 5 3-pointers themselves. So that type of game, and I mean, it went very quickly. I mean, goodness me, I'm getting ready to start the second half, and there's only 50 minutes ago that we tipped this one off. But that's just that's what happens. It's a clean ball game, outside game, and so not a lot of foul trouble to worry about. That's for sure.
Yep.
Unless something happens very quickly early in the second half, that's not going to be an issue in this one.
Alexander Booker is the only guy with more than 1 foul. He's got 2 fouls, so yeah, you're not in any kind of foul trouble at all. And I tell you, you look at these guys on paper, and Bryant and Stratton, obviously they are the number 2 seeded team in the region. And they've had a really solid year at 12-6 in the conference. Louisburg at 8-10 in the conference, but in their head-to-head matchups in the regular season, they split, and they were very close games. And that's how I think if you look at our league from top to bottom this year, parity in the league, I think the gap between top and bottom has closed so much. It's a very tight-knit league, and on any given night in Region 10, if you don't bring your A game, you can walk away with a loss.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And what we saw that in the very first game today of Central Carolina, while they did lose to the Storm, gave the Storm an absolutely great ball game for at least a good 30 minutes. And they finished next to last in the conference. Right in the standings. And right now Louisburg down only 6 at the half to the number 2 team. And we've seen it throughout the conference season as we get to do games as well throughout the year. The programs that have continued to build, and I think over the last 2 to 3 years, you have a lot of programs that have put a lot of resources into it, been able to get a little bit more scholarship money, some corporate sponsors, up the game, right? And I think the junior college game, the NJCAA, is at a good place where that the colleges, the administrations are seeing the value in athletics and what they can bring to the table. And I think you're seeing that rise at all levels, whether that's Division II or, the Division I level, the NJCAA men's basketball. They're getting games broadcast on ESPN+, right? And championship games getting promoted on national networks. And so what I think you're seeing is the elevation of the junior college program, and it's really become something sought after, right, for four-year schools to come find these junior college players. And I think you're seeing that trickle through to places like Region 10, Division II, where there's a ton of talent on the court.
Bobcats basketball. Juan Oden going to put it in play to Kamani Small. They look to go back door to Khalil Oden, and he loses it out of bounds. It'll be Hurricane basketball. It'll be interesting to see at halftime if they made any adjustments to see what they can do to get the ball in the hands of Ronald Bridges. They posted him up a couple times in the first half, and it worked well, but, you know, they might choose to let him try to take his guy off the dribble. He's being double-teamed a lot. There's a long three that rims out by Khalil Oden. But a nice rebound and a putback for Powers. Powers, 12 points now for the Bobcats. There's the post down inside the Bridges, and that's going to be a quick foul on Kawan Oden.
Well, and that's a tough ask for Oden. I mean, Bridges has him by probably 4 inches, and I'm going to guess somewhere around 20, 30 pounds. So he's given up a lot to Bridges. If that's a mismatch, I mean, if he gets on Bridges, Bridges needs to get the basketball in his hands.
Louisburg having trouble getting the ball inbounds. There's a long three that's off the mark by Lawson. Here come the Hurricanes. There's another three and a miss by Lawson's, and then they're going to call McDonald, I believe, with an offensive goaltend.
Yeah, I think that's what they're calling, but
I think they're going to talk about it. Coach Brian Bagwell said the ball went in the basket. We'll see. Now the officials will talk some more. That's the official that wanted to come see the video.
We may be called into action, Miles.
You might have to. No basket. No basket. It'll be Bobcat basketball.
We, of course, don't get an explanation on that. But, I mean, from this vantage point, certainly there were some hands on the rim and the ball above the rim.
Yeah,
so
in the cylinder, yep.
In the moment, I certainly in my mind called it goaltending.
Short jumper and a miss by Small. Louisburg trying to cut into that 8-point Bobcat lead. That's a beautiful block by Raspberry. And Khalil Oden may have gotten a little bit fancy there and missed the layup, had too much spin on that ball.
Yeah, he doesn't miss those often, but he did put a little extra on that one. Sometimes we're just simple lay it in and up off the square works best.
It'll be a reach-in foul. Kamari Powers. That's Powers first. Second team foul for the Bobcats here in the second half. Louisburg. Drive to the bucket. There's an open look for McDonald. He misses.
Now, Louisburg did make 7 in the first half. They only make around 8 per game, so we'll see if maybe they've gone a little cold. They can't afford to right now. They need to keep knocking down shots.
Been cold here in the second half, haven't they? McLean going to look to drive. Running one-hander, leaves it a little bit short. Raspberry going to own the boards. Bobcats doing a good job on the glass. Kamani Small to Powers. Back over to Oden. Kamani Small going to drive, then stop, put up a jumper, miss. Rebound is going to go to Nehemiah McDonald. Ronald Bridges Jr. still scoreless here in the second half.
Everyone pretty much scoreless here in the second half. We've only had 2 points scored thus far. Both teams put on a lot of good shooting in the first half and struggled so far in the second.
Kamani Small has his 8th point. 10-point lead now by the Bobcats. And Bridges trying to force things a little bit that time, is going to get whistled for the charge. Coach Bagwell not happy with that call.
Well, and he just picked up a technical, I believe.
Foul is on Bridges. And then Coach Bagwell does get teed up. Going to the free throw line will be Khalil Oden. Khalil is an 86% free throw shooter. I think he's number 9 in the country.
Makes the first one. Hard to see right here. We got the Bryant Stratton bench huddled up in front of us.
First free throw was good. His second free throw is also good.
Rattles around and in. Sometimes better lucky than good.
12-point lead now, 49-37.
Yeah, Louisburg thus far, goose egg in the second half. Bryant Stratton so far taking advantage of it, turned that 6-point halftime lead into 12 very quickly.
Well, they missed an easy shot inside. Powers couldn't get it to go down, and Louisburg now on the attack. Shot by Booker is good, and he's going to get a chance for a three-point play. Foul's going to be on Dees, his second. So that technical foul may not have hurt the Hurricanes. Timeout on the court, 15:50 left to go in the second half. Bryant Stratton out to a 12-point lead, 49-37. We'll be back to the Sports Center after.
As a Cape Fear grad, you have options. Maybe too many options. Are you ready? Get started at Cape Fear.
Buttons? Nope.
We're back, 15:50 left to go in this second half, and coming out of the break, coming out of the half, Kevin, Bryant Stratton's able to extend that lead a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just a pressure defense, getting some turnovers and getting out in transition. I mean, it really is that simple. It's not like they've done anything creative. They've just been able to get rebounds and pressure defense with a few turnovers. Lewisburg, to be fair, has also been a little cold. They hit a lot of shots in the first half. As I mentioned, they hit 7 3-pointers in the first half, and so far haven't scored a bucket here in the second. So we're 6 minutes in, and you're not scored, you typically give up a little bit of a lead. Bryant Stratton's been able to take advantage of it. Got to feel like Lewisburg right now just needs to reset. Well, I guess I say they hadn't scored a bucket, but they're at the free throw line looking for a three-point play now. So they have scored one bucket.
Booker looking to cut this one to a 9-point game, and his free throw is true. He's got 5, 49-40. Bobcats in the lead. About a quarter of the way through the second half. Small. Gets the ball back over to Powers. And we're going to have a foul. Foul's going to be on Booker. That's his third. Booker's the only guy in foul trouble in the building.
Literally. I'm Booker. I'm the closest person to foul trouble.
Fourth team foul on Louisburg. Tight defense, 16 seconds on the shot clock.
See the intensity pick up from Louisburg defensively a little bit here. They've clawed back into it. They've sensed that they just need to they can just get a stop here, they can be right back in the ball game.
Well, they know they're, they know what's at stake here. I mean, you gotta move on, gotta win to move on. Kamani Small actually is leaving the gym. You see him over there with his shoe off.
Oh, he is. The left shoe is off. That's right.
Louisburg gets the rebound. Here comes Bridges. Bridges is going to dish it off to Booker. Back to Bridges. They switch off nicely. Booker with a jumper. Can't get it to go down, and here come the Bobcats.
Well, they are quick. Even though they didn't finish there, they are quick when they get out in transition.
They really are. Couldn't finish it, though. I mean, it looked good, but got to finish those, and it's a turnover. It'll be interesting to see if they can get Kamani Small back in this ball game.
Yeah, that's going to hurt for them if they can't get him back, but you never know. I mean, sometimes you go back there and you just retape it.
Retape it,
right?
Yeah.
Get back in the game, and hopefully for him, that's the case. Because I mean, he's scored 8 for them, but he's a big part of what they do. He plays a lot of minutes, scores 15 points a game. But beyond that, as we mentioned, they're not the deepest roster.
Bridges trying to get involved in the game, can't get the layup to go down. He has been held in check this contest. Thought maybe Milt might have got away with an offensive shove that time. Bridges with an alley-oop inside. That bucket's going to be good. Booker's going to get the bucket. It'll be a goaltend.
Booker's the sole scorer for Louisburg Hurricanes here in the second half. He's got 5.
Hurricanes starting to ease back in this game now, only down by 7.
If they want to close it up from here, Booker's going to need some help.
That 3 misses, and Bridges is going to get the rebound. And Kamani Small just came out of the locker room with his shoes laced up. He'll be back in the game. Nice pass inside. Turnaround shot is no good by Booker. And Dees is going to get that bucket. His 5th point. Timeout on the court. 13:30 left to go here in the second half. Bryant Stratton up 51-42, and we'll keep it right here. A 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Louisburg just staying within striking distance right now. They need to get a few extra stops to be able to close it up. But, you know, you're where you need to be. I mean, technically, Bryant Stratton number 2, if you want to call it an upset, I guess. I think these are 2 evenly matched teams. I think Louisburg's a great one. But if you want to come in here and get through that quarterfinal team against the number 2 team in the bracket, you're where you want to be, but you'd like to knock down just a few more shots. And they were able to do that in the first half. Bryant Stratton, however, has forced the issue a little bit more here in the second, where they've been able to keep up the pace, and Louisburg's dropped a few shots along the way that you felt like they would probably be able to hit. But, you know, it's still a long way to go. It's been a great ball game so far, and Louisburg just still trying to get Ronald Bridges Jr. rolling here, get some contributions. Again, Booker 5 here in the second half, but he's the only Louisburg Hurricane in the scoring column so far in the first 6.5 minutes in the second.
Bridges, they've let him kind of isolate and take his guy off the dribble, but that hasn't been so successful for him. He's lost the ball a couple of times, and you know, he gets double teamed as he gets near the basket. They've had the best success when they posted him up down low, and they've got mismatches down there.
Yeah, we typically see that the Bryant Stratton guards are the ones that are trying to guard him, so I might consider that.
Bobcats stole the inbounds. Kind of a lazy pass there by Louisburg, and the Bobcats can add to that lead here. Foul got to be on McLean. Foul actually on Braden Smith. And that will send Saquon Dees to the free throw line. sophomore out of Newport News, Virginia. Misses that first free throw. Tees up his second one. It's also no good. And that ball is going to go out of bounds, knocked out of bounds by the Hurricanes. It'll be Bobcat basketball. Missed three there by Dees.
2 extra possessions for the Bobcats here.
They get the long rebound, and
what if you're the Hurricanes trying to make a comeback? That is not helpful.
No. There's the strip by Smith. There's a long three. It's good by Malachi McLean. And I was going to say that's probably not a good shot, but he made it go in, and then Lawson gets the steal, and he's going to be fouled by Kewan Oden.
Just like that, 6-point ball game, going to the free throw line.
Yeah, 2 shots.
You get the sense that if Louisburg would just clean up a few of the mistakes and not give up some extra possessions, they would be in a little bit different spot right now.
Yeah, they're hanging in despite themselves a little bit. 4 points now for Lawson. It's a 51-46 game.
See Kamani Small heading back into the game, so he left briefly. Must have gotten retaped perhaps, but he's back in.
Yeah, good to see him back in the ball game. Second free throw by Lawson is good. It's only a 4-point game now, 51-47. 12:30 left to go in the second half.
Yeah, this is good, Miles. Absolute game on right now.
Oh, yeah. Lace them up.
Really tight if you're Kamani Small, though.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's a steal by Louisburg. Good hands by Smith. Turnover there by Lawson. Louisburg claws their way back, and then those turnovers have not helped them. Open three in the corner by Raspberry.
Well, we talk about a game of runs all the time, and I don't think there's anything that breaks up a run and momentum better than a turnover, and that's what happened. Louisburg commits a turnover. Bryant Stratton comes down and hits a three-pointer, pulls the lead a little bit back out.
Bryant Stratton did a really good job. There's a foul on Kaiwan Oden. Bryant Stratton moved the ball around well and found that open guy in the corner for that three. And that's the difference. The Bobcats seem to be on offense, making those extra passes, moving the ball well, and getting the open guy. Got timeout on the court, 11:19 left to go in the second half. Bryant Stratton on top, 54-47.
Perfect combo includes 2 pizzas, 2 sides, and a 2-liter bottle of Coke. So we were asking real people how much they think all of this costs.
35, 45, 50.
$19.99. I'm about to order that when I get home. It's Domino's Perfect Combo, and it's all just $19.99.
We are back. I want to give a shout out. Somebody says here, let's go Coach Coleman and Bobcats. We are rooting from Texas. Big brother, much love. So Coach Coleman's brother watching this from Texas, and he's got to be happy right now. The Bobcats are up 54-47, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, that's right now. I mean, you certainly got to like where your team's at the moment, because they are got a little bit of a lead. They can see if they can push it back out. I mean, that's the question. If they can, Bryant Stratton's felt like they could probably pull away in this game several times, but they just have not been able to do it so far.
Coach Coleman has done a good job with the Bobcats. They, like I said, they made it to the finals in this tournament last year. They were in the top 25 at a point in time this year, late in the season. He's building a really good program there. Louisburg turning that ball over yet again. A little bit out of control by Braden Smith trying to drive inside. Like I say, Louisburg gets just close enough, and then
his turnovers continue to just kill them.
Can't quite get it home. There's an off-balance three-point shot by Khalil Oden that's missed, and Louisburg will grab the board, and they have a chance again to eat into this 7-point deficit.
Boy, and Booker has worked the boards hard tonight.
Yes, he has. He's had a good game on the glass. There's a high arching three in the corner by Velon Rivers that falls short. Kaiwan Oden, a little floating one-hander inside, can't get it to go, and Braden Smith gets the rebound. Jump ball, possession error goes to Louisburg.
You know, one thing we've got it right now, and I'm surprised we haven't seen more of the big men for Louisburg on the court at the same time. I mean, you've got right now McDonald 6'7", Booker 6'8". Wonder if you couldn't pack that inside and take advantage of some of the height difference that they've got over Bryant Stratton.
Yeah, they got one of the big guys, Booker, bringing the ball up to court. And they go inside to McDonald. There you go, Kevin, just what you were talking about. Inside to McDonald, he hits the bucket, gets fouled. Foul's going to be on Raspberry first. McDonald, freshman out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. His free throw is good. He's got 11. 4-point lead again, Kevin. They inch closer.
Louisburg hanging around, staying right there where if they can just get one stop, one score.
Bobcats move the ball around well. They find the open guy in the corner. That's Travis Hamilton for three.
Travis Hamilton's an interesting player. I wonder, what he can do next year for the Bobcats. He's a freshman, looks pretty quick, hit a three-point bucket. I'm sure they'll be looking for him to mature as they go into next year. I think he can be a really good player. He'll just have more playing time under his belt.
He's open again. Powers is going to take the jumper and miss. And Louisburg just turning the ball over again. 2 possessions now, coming away without a shot attempt. There's the guy, Travis Hamilton. He's got 8. Bobcats have now stretched that lead back out to 9. And the big guy takes the 3, misses. And in the corner, you've got another 3-point attempt by Malachi McLean. It's good. I think McLean kind of bailed him out on that one.
Yeah, because I don't know that I would have kicked it out there on that one. I probably would have gone straight to the rim if I were Smith.
8 minutes to go in the contest. Drive to the bucket by Hamilton. He's going to be fouled, and they're going to whistle Rivers with the personal. Sixth team foul against Louisburg, and to the free throw line. Travis Hamilton, 68% free throw shooter on the season. Hamilton thinking about the second free throw. Dribble, the spin, and it's good. 60-53.
You look at it, someone that struggles a little bit from the free throw line, one of the first things you look at there with Hamilton is it came out of his hand 2 different ways on that. If he just finds some consistency, that second free throw looked pretty good.
Bridges muscles one in. He's going to get the bucket and the foul.
That'll get him up to 7 on the night. Lewisburg will, you know, I mean, if you're Lewisburg right now and you're saying, hey, look, Bridges has only got 7, but we're still hanging in here right now, just down 5. So
sometimes the scorers will find a way to get it done, and Bridges took that one, hesitated on that open three-point shot, got his defender out on him, then drove to the bucket, got the bucket and the foul. Timeout on the court, 7:51 left to go in the second half. Bryant Stratton leading 60-55. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back to the Sports Center in just a moment.
Well, Domino's Perfect Combo is a big deal for a not-so-big price. Because for just $19.99, you get 2 medium one-topping pizzas and savory Parmesan bread bites and gooey cinnamon bread twists and a 2-liter of Coke. It's the perfect combo. Just $19.99, only at Domino's.
the rest are 30. The Domino's are 15.
Those Domino commercials are making me hungry.
I know, right, Miles Poole?
Yes. Hey, Shanda Melton says, go Bobcats. We're getting some feedback here from Morgan Lawrence. She says, let's go Canes. So got a Hurricane fan out there pulling for Louisburg. And Morgan, they're trying to get back in the game. They've cut it to 5, 60-55.
Yeah, they've continued to hang around. The biggest thing that I guess we continue to say is every time it seems like they get it down to 4 or 5, they commit a turnover. That breaks their momentum, and then Bryant Stratton's able to come down and execute and find a bucket somehow, some way. So Lewisburg's got to be able to get past some of those mental errors, keep the momentum rolling, and they can win this basketball game. The other side, Bryant and Stratton, hey, just keep doing what you're doing. There's been a few times maybe they've rushed some shots, maybe they've come off, falling away to the left or right. Maybe you don't have to take that shot. Be a little bit more patient, and you'll keep the lead that you've got. If you're Bryant and Stratton heading down the last 8 minutes of this game, you find your way into the semifinal tomorrow evening.
Ronald Bridges Jr. will be at the free throw line. He's an 84% free throw shooter and looking for his quiet 8 points for Bridges. And that free throw is perfect. It's now a 4-point game. 4-point game, 2-possession game. Bobcats lead it. Bridges going to kick that one.
And I think that's an example where I don't know that the crease was there. I don't think he had the angle on that backdoor pass. So just hold on to it because they're lucky that got called a kick and didn't lose it.
Bobcats will inbound it. Under the bucket, Kamani Small gets it in. Small got a 3-point shot launched in the corner. That one was short. It'll be Lewisburg basketball. Maybe not the best shot for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and you have to wonder. I mean, he walked out with his ankle. Was he able earlier? He walked into the locker room with his ankle exposed. You wonder if he's able to get the elevation that he might like to get on that shot.
Hurricane swing it over to Bridges. Bridges is going to take the 3. No good, but a strong rebound and a putback by Booker wouldn't go in, and the Bobcats going to corral the board. They had a chance. Nice pass inside to Milt. That's Milt's first bucket, and that was a big one.
Lewisburg just continue to stay focused, stay in their game. They're in good shape right now, down 6.
That pass got away from Booker. We'd love to have that one back. It was a good thought. He was trying to hit McDonald breaking to the basket, but that ball got away from him.
Go with it. Absolutely. Okay. Very physical play right here in front of us.
Yeah, I tell you, Kamani Small got mugged right in front of us. No foul called. And then McLean's going to finish with a bucket down low. It is a 4-point ball game. Bobcats are clinging to a 4-point lead here. A little bit over 6 minutes left to go in the second half. That's going to be a foul. Fouls on Powers.
Yeah, he just
Offensive
stepped
foul.
out just a little too hard. Got Bridges with the hip, trying to fight around the screen.
Asbury checking back in for the Bobcats, and Powers will come out. Powers has 3 fouls. Hurricanes have a chance now to get a little closer. Bridges going to drive to the bucket. Cut off. Taking it to the hole, gets the bucket and the foul. Bridges going to have a chance for 3-point play. He'll go to the free throw line, and it's a 2-point ball game.
If you're Louisburg, if you get him going right now, down 2. Still got 5 in the second half, 10 for the game, Bridges does.
Well short of his average of 21-7 a game, but there's still time.
There's still time, and he's thinking right now what matters is the next 5 minutes and 36 seconds.
Absolutely.
And what he can help his team do. He stepped up now and gotten his last 2 buckets have been 3-point plays.
62-61, Bobcats up by 1. This is a good one, folks.
That's going to get called
There's
again.
Gonna be another
moving screen.
Another moving screen. That's going to be Milt. And now Kevin Louisburg has a chance to take the lead. These players are leaving it all out on the court. These guys are going at it.
Yeah, this is what postseason's all about. It's a lot of fun. Enjoying this game here in Wilmington, North Carolina this afternoon.
Bridges, beautiful move on Smalls. Bridges has 13 now, and Louisburg going to get whistled for delay of game. And I'm not sure that Smalls' ankle's not bothering him. He's having a tough time moving out there, and Bridges just went around him, made it look easy.
Yeah, if your ankle's bothering you, that lateral movement can be really tough against a quick guy like Bridges. That's a tough ask. They might think about that. Might think about that assignment for him.
Going to be a reach-in foul on Braden Smith. That last move down here by Bridges, if there are any four-year school coaches out in the audience watching or watching online, they took note of that.
That's the thing about a tournament like this. I've seen some four-year coaches here in the arena today, so a lot of exposure for the young men playing in this game, and there's a ton of talent in this region. Certainly, we've seen that over the last couple of years, the success they've had at the next level.
Braden Smith misses the free throw. Louisburg maintains that 1-point lead and the basketball with 4:40 left to go in the second half. Almost a turnover there by the Hurricanes. And they want and they get a timeout with 4:34 left to go. We'll keep it right here. 62-63. It's a 1-point ball game. The Hurricanes, trailing most of this contest, have been able to fight back, and they finally were able to take the lead a moment ago, and they have it up. They're up by 1. Ronald Bridges now starting to feel it a little bit, Kevin.
Yeah, we've said it all game. Lewisburg was staying really close, and if they can actually get to a point where he can get rolling and they're still close, boy, it's going to make it really, a really good game out of it, and that's what happened. Lewisburg hung in there, 7-9 points, that type of thing. And Bryant Stratton just never quite put them away. Getting help from guys like Caleb Booker, right? So Booker comes in and averages 10 points a game, and he's only got 7 right now, but most importantly, he came in and scored the first 5 for Lewisburg in the second half and helped them stick around a little bit. And now this is a great ball game, and Lewisburg's got the lead, 4.5 left on the clock. So they're looking at knocking off the number 2 seed if they can keep this rolling.
And what's at stake? Well, this is a trip to the semifinals tomorrow night right here in this beautiful arena, Schwartz Center. 3:28 left to go in the second half. It's a 1-point game. Bryant Stratton, Kevin, up 66-65. It's Bobcats basketball. A lot of fast and furious action here.
Yeah, been a great ball game from the outset. And last 3 minutes promises to be much of the same.
Beautiful, beautiful putback there by Jalen Milt. And he's going to be fouled. And the basket is good. The foul's going to be on McDonald. That was a big-time move there by Jalen Milt, the freshman out of Norfolk, Virginia.
He only his 4th point of the game, but that matters right there.
None bigger than that one, and this is a big free throw. This can make it a 2-possession ball game for the Bobcats. Misses it, and Bridges gets the rebound. Bridges flips it over to Malachi McLean. 10 on the shot clock. McLean trying to find an opening, loses it on the double team. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think they're going to call a foul on Braden Smith. It is.
Boy, and on the other end of the court, Louisburg probably like to see McLean try to do something else with it, get into the offense, and just lost it, and it results in transition going back the other direction by Jalen Milton, the Bobcats.
Yeah, trying to dribble it through a double team, and he loses the ball. Milt gets the free throw. Five-point Bobcat lead now on that free throw.
Boy, Louisburg grabbed the lead there briefly. Bryant Stratton had been able to wrestle it back away from them. Louisburg, you just stay patient. It's 2.5 minutes at 5 points.
Bridges in the corner for 3. It's good. Ronald Bridges got 16 now.
He just camped out, and on the drive, they were able to find him sitting over there. Easy look for Bridges.
Good pass by Booker. Still anybody's game. This one's going to go right down to the wire, I do believe. This shot by Milt, and the Hurricanes going to push it up the court. Didn't have the numbers, and that ball is going to go off of the hands of McDonald.
Boy, that's a tough break, too, as he reaches around to try to get it off of the deflection. He thought he might still get an easy layup, and just went the wrong direction.
$1:40 left. Bobcats gonna take some time off of that clock. Shot clock down to 10. Game clock at 1:25. Nice jumper by Khalil Oden, and we got a timeout on the court at $1:17. Bryant Stratton now have opened up a 2-possession game, 4-point lead, 72-68.
Yeah, and that's just an outstanding job by Khalil Oden, just creating the shot himself. He was trying to work it off the screen, and he just had to do it himself, and he had just a sliver of space, and somehow he finds a way to get a shot off. A little bit of running with a floater there to I don't know, it was an awkward-looking shot, but he got it off, and he knocked it down. And he's just a big-time player, and that's what we've seen him do a lot throughout his career, quite honestly here. And, boys, giving Bryant Stratton Bobcats a 4-point lead here. Now, Louisburg, Ronald Bridges is your guy. Do you go directly to him? I think you probably try to make sure it goes through his hands. He's got to at least get a look. I mean, fine, if you look at the first half, he wasn't able to get in the flow of the game, but now he's got 11 in the second half. He's clearly in rhythm. The ball needs to go through him. You got to give him a look as you go down the stretch. He's got to be able to get his hands on the ball and see if he can make something happen.
I think Bridges or Malachi McLean for the Hurricanes. McLean with 17, Bridges with 16. Clarence Baker is pulling for Louisburg. We get a shout out from Clarence from Buffalo.
Got a national audience tonight.
I know.
We have Texas, we've got Buffalo. Love it. Keep bringing it. Hope everyone's enjoying the action here in Region 10 Conference Tournament tonight here in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Well, you tuned in to a good one here. This is a nail biter. Louisburg needing a bucket here. They trail by 4, 72-68, with 1:17, and that's a lot of time. Louisburg with 3 timeouts left. Bryant Stratton has 2. Louisburg needs to get the ball in bounds. That ball almost knocked out off the hands of McLean, but they're going to say it was off of Khalil Oden.
Well, if you're Louisburg, that is too close.
And Louisburg is going to burn one of their 3 timeouts, and we will take a quick timeout. We'll be back to Cape Fear Community College after this.
Perfect combo includes 2 pizzas, 2 sides, and a 2-liter bottle of Coke. So we were asking real people how much they think all of this costs.
35, 45, 50.
$19.99. I'm about to order that when I get home. It's Domino's Perfect Combo, and it's all just $19.99.
We're back here, 1:16 left to go. Bryant Stratton 72-68. Yeah, you're right, big boy. Coach Coleman has taken off the jacket to our left here. It is getting hot in here. And OB3 says, my boy Keith, let's work.
Coach Coleman, a very, very active coach over there. He's an animated fellow. A lot of fun to watch him coach, but it makes me sweat a little bit, if I'm honest. He gets me going.
Louisburg trying to get the ball inbounds here. They get it into the hands of Ronald Bridges Jr. Bridges being guarded by Travis Hamilton. Travis very, very quick. Bridges trying to go inside, and he throws the ball away. Looking over at Malachi McLean. He was trying to get it to him. McLean went one way, the pass went the other. That one hurts.
It really does, down 4 with a minute left. Now the pressure's on to get a stop for Louisburg right here. Bryant Stratton, you got to be strong with the basketball, and you got to go to the hole with intention, because Louisburg's not going to let you have anything easy right now.
Bobcats not in any hurry. Get the ball inside, underneath. They're going to kick it back out. Smart play by Powers. And then a feed inside, big bucket by Mild. He has really stepped up big in these last 3-4 minutes of the ball game.
Yeah, he's got 8 points here in the second half, 8 points total for the game after scoring 0 in the first. But that was a situation where Louisburg felt like that maybe they had the chance to go after a ball. They were a little aggressive. You feel like you've got to make something happen. And that left an open man for the Bobcats. And there was Milt. He got the ball. So it's an easy bucket for him at the end of the day. But Louisburg felt like they had to take some chances. Now, you don't have to hit a 3 if you're Louisburg right now. You're down 6. Go get a quick 2-point bucket. Play some quick defense and see if you can get a turnover very quickly.
I like what Coach Coleman's doing with his defense. It's full court pressure. He's not letting Louisburg relax at all and get in some type of offensive flow. They rush a 3, and the Bobcats get the long rebound. And that might do it.
Yeah, taking that 3-pointer right there is a little bit all or nothing. From my standpoint, you don't have to have it. If you make it, it's great, right? It's suddenly a 1-point ball game or 1-possession ball game, but you miss it like they did, and now you're in a hole if you can't get that long rebound.
Foul was on McLean. And to the free throw line is Khalil Oden. He's had a really good night, 18 points for Khalil. Second free throw is good. It's now an 8-point Bobcat lead. Bridges Jr. going to have to get down the court in a hurry. He puts up a 3. No good. The rebound goes to Hamilton, and the Bobcats are going to end this thing up. Behind the back pass from Oden to Raspberry. And McLean goes in for an uncontested layup with 4.7 seconds left. But Bryant Stratton going to move on to the semifinals. They are going to beat Louisburg. They're up right now 78-70 over the Hurricanes.
Procedural right now, we are getting a second added to the clock.
And that'll be it. The Bobcats will move on. This was a good ball game. And like the other two games these teams played in the regular season, it was close, and it really was anybody's games. But the Bobcats win it over Louisburg College by the score of 78-70. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to wrap this one up from the Schwartz Center after this timeout. And we are back at the Schwartz Center. Miles Poole and Kevin Garner with you. The congrats are coming in all over now for the Bobcats. Della Campbell says, yes, Bobcats. Keith Snaggs, let's work. John Tez, great game, way to pull away Bobcats. Big boy Keith Snaggs says, let's go Bobcats. We'll see you Friday. So we'll see. They do move on to play another day. Bryant Stratton going to play tomorrow in the semifinal game against the winner of the next game, Pitt or Catawba Valley. But Kevin, this ball game was a good one. It was a back and forth game in the second half. Louisburg took the lead at one point, but Bryant Stratton just too much for them. They come away with an 8-point win.
Yeah, I think over and over again, we said it there in the second half. Louisburg was playing a really good game, and actually, you know, as you mentioned, they took a 1-point lead, but it felt like every time Louisburg would make a run, they would have a turnover. And Bryant Stratton was able to capitalize on that and really stay out in front right there until the end. And then, you know, really Louisburg has a shot at it. They missed a three from the top of the key with about 35 seconds left, and that probably was the final nail, but Louisburg just played just a little too far behind for most of that second half. Tons of credit to Bryant Stratton. They came out and really put some pressure on in the second half. This was a lower scoring game, you know, early, but boy, these teams got going, and it was a lot of fun. And boy, I enjoyed calling it. Two great teams, but yeah, Bryant Stratton moving on to play tomorrow night.
Wrapping up the scores for us, who were the leading scorers tonight?
Let's take a look at Bryant Stratton. Raspberry had 9. I've got Khalil Oden at 19.
Yep.
Brother Kwan at 8. Milt had 8. Dees had 5. Small with 8. Hamilton 9. And Gamar Powers had 12. Look over at Louisburg. I'll go ahead and tell you I missed a couple of points when we had some technical difficulties. But here's what I've got. I've got McLean at 17. I've got Smith at 5. Lawson at 5. Booker 7. Ronald Bridges Jr., slow start to the game, but he ended up with 16. Nehemiah McDonald had 11. And Vecic 5 early, and then we didn't hear from him the rest of the game, but he ended up with 5.
So Bryant Stratton moved to 19-10 on the season. With tonight's win, the Hurricanes finished their year at 13-16, and they'll get ready for next year. The Bobcats will move on to tomorrow's game in the semifinals, so we'll see Bryant Stratton tomorrow night. Really good game, 78-7. Kevin, pleasure doing this one, our third game. Had a lot of good feedback here from the live chat, and we will take a quick break. We'll be back for Game 4. The Pitt Bulldogs versus Catawba Valley coming up in just a little bit.